we have if, else, and else if statements, right? So I can very much so tell, right? I can very much so tell that a lot of people do not understand how these work because I've helped a lot of people and I've seen just a lot of people ask me for help with this stuff for my videos where they didn't understand how to add else or else if statements to things. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the definition. It's like I said, the definitions start to get worse. This is not the best, but I'm gonna give it to y'all. Conditional statements, which is referring to if slash else slash else if statements, are lines of code that only run if certain conditions are true. Which, that's not that bad though, right? One type of conditional statement is an if then statement. Control structures can have more than one condition. The keywords else and else if can create additional scenarios for what should happen under several conditions. Okay, now I feel like that wasn't that bad, but it might have been bad. It's cool if it was though. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys, right? We're gonna get into some actual scripting here. So, if statements, again, definitely something very essential that you will need to know. So, if, simply type if, right? Lowercase I, you can't do it in uppercase I, right? So, if, right? And then when it says if then, you would do if then. But like, you would have to put, your condition in between the if and the then. So, I'm gonna show you guys an example, right? So, there's only two ways if statements can work. Either the information is correct and the rest of the code will proceed, or the information is not, it doesn't match up, so it will not proceed. So an example of it proceeding is, let's say if var our variable, right, is equal to, now to let y'all know, with if statements you have to use two equal signs, right? I just want to clarify something. Now if you're setting a value, you want to use one equal sign. Like if you want to say var is, if you want to set it to 5, you would say var is equal to 5. If you're setting it, one equal sign. But if you're checking it, two equal signs, right? But yeah, so let's say if var is equal to 10, right? If var is equal to 10, right? I know I didn't cover printing yet, but just bear with me and stuff. I probably honestly should have covered, printing, but yeah, we can really just, cover it. Let's cover it right now, actually. Let's cover it right now. And then I'll go over debugging later. Okay, so with printing, I'm pretty sure you guys understand how printing works. You type the word print, you put parentheses, and then what you put in here is what will be displayed in the output. Hence the point of us opening the output, right? So it works same thing with variable values. You can, input strings, numbers, booleans, right? So let's say this. If var, our variable, is equal, if its value is equal to 10, then we're going to put quotation mark because this is how we create a string. You guys see how it says string, right? Then say the value is equal to 10, right? That's simple. Then if I click play, let's click play. Oh, sorry, we didn't even have to click play. We could just click run. But yeah, so as you guys can see, the value is equal to 10. And notice how it says, how it's saying client, right? Because this is being printed from a local script. If we were printing this on a server script, client would instead be server, right? So moving on, we will go back here, right? I'm now going to show you guys what would happen if it was not equal to 10. So if it's not equal to 10, let's change this to 8, right? We don't actually have to click play each time. We can actually do a faster option, which is run. Run just means the server will run and our player won't actually load. So if we click run, nothing will print in the output because the variable's value is not equal to 8, it's equal to 10, so nothing will happen, right? But now let's say if we wanted something to happen if the value did not equal to 8, right? We would simply enter, right? We would do an else statement. Now this means that things are going one of two ways, right? If this condition is equal to this, like if this condition is met, then this will happen, right? If this condition, let me just do this like this. If the condition is met here, this will happen. If this condition is not met, then it'll say, okay, regardless of what it is, this is going to happen. That's the point of else. It doesn't matter what it is. If this is not, does not work out, then it's going to go straight to this, right? So then we'll say print quotation marks, the, let's say the value is not equal to 8. Right? Then if I press run, right, it's okay. sorry, guys, sorry. Okay, sorry. No, we do have to click play. Sorry, I forgot. This is a local script inside of a starter player script. The script would only run if our player actually joined the game and stuff. It'd be different if it was a server script. My bad, guys. But anyway, as you guys can see, value is not equal to 8, right? And stuff. That's what I mean. Now, let's see if you wanted to check for specifics, right? Let's say if you wanted a condition to happen if it was equal to something. That's the point of else if. Else if is very specific. Now you can use else statements, but I personally would recommend you use else if because you want specific results. So let's say if we wanted something to happen if the value is equal to 9, if it's equal to 10. So let's say instead of else, we do else if. Now let me just say, oh no, y'all can't do else and then go do else if. Like no, it's either else if it's either if and else or if and else if, right? So you can do else if, right? And then you're going to say, let's say var, the variable's value is equal to 9, enter, right? Then we would say, we could change this to say the value is equal to 9. And by the way, you can add as many else if statements as you want, right? It can be more than 2, more than 1, right? We would just do the same thing. We would say else if var is equal to 10, enter. Then we will say print the value is equal to 10, right? And then change this to 8, right? So based on what the value of the variable is what's going to be printed into the output. If I click play, since our value is equal to 10, it's going to say the value is equal to 10, right? It's pretty simple. So I hope that was, conditional statements weren't that bad. That's if and else if statements and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty simple. So yeah, I guess I'll also cover booleans and strings too, just to show you guys. So let's change our variable's value. Let's change it to a boolean. Let's do boolean first, then we'll do strings. Okay, so let's set the value of the variable equal to false. So we only need one else if statement, and the reason for this is because remember guys, booleans can only be one of two things, true or false. The boolean's value can only be true or false, one of two things, right? Now a number in a string could be infinite possibilities, but yeah, so the value and stuff. So if we left things alone as they are, nothing would print because we have numbers here while the value is a whole boolean, so nothing would happen. So let's say if variable is equal to false, then the value is equal to false. If variable is equal to true, then the value is equal to true, right? Is equal to true, right? So if I click play, it's going to say the value is equal to false because that's what it is. If I change the value, if I set this to true, then this statement will print, right? That's simple. And honestly, booleans is probably easier. It's probably easier to understand than numbers and strings. But yeah, so moving to strings, we're gonna do it like this. Let's go ahead and let's say, I don't know, cool. Let's set our variable's value equal to cool. This is our string, cool, right? So if variable is equal to, let's say, cool, right? If the value of the variable is equal to cool, then it'll print the value is equal to cool. Now I want to clarify something. Scripting, right, the way Lua works, the coding language for Roblox, it's very specific. Like, it's case sensitive. You cannot, like for example, if you want this to match this, you cannot put lowercase c and then put cool. It's not going to recognize that. They have to match, like this spacing, everything. If you put a space in between, this will not match. It has to match the spacing, the capitalization. Everything has to match. You could even leave it like this and then put a space at the end or a space at the beginning. It still would not match. It has to match exactly as it is, right? So if variable is equal to cool, then it'll print the value is, equal to cool. Then if it's equal to not cool, then we say the value is, not equal to cool. We would just put that, right? I think we've covered if else